So without further ado, here we go. It was made in 1980, and I must admit, I actually thought it was older, but here we are. Pac-Man has been one of the first games that I have ever played on my computer or our computer in old days, because like it was one of the first games that actually came out onto a computer, as far as I remember. I could be wrong, but like I just remember Pac-Man being there always, and like I have only tried the arcade version that I'm going to show a small gameplay through here. When I was younger, I was better at playing Pac-Man. I'm not that good at it no more. Apparently, I tried yesterday and I died really quickly, but like I really do still enjoy playing Pac-Man sometimes, and I was surprised about like all of the pages and all of the things that you could download with Pac-Man that there is online. And I do feel like a lot of old games do need more stuff like this, because like I know like we have emulators and more stuff like that, but I'm just missing what like Pac-Man has the ability to just be played online or being downloaded and you can play it like that. So that's really great. And I just remember playing it on the arcade or in the arcade on the old Pac-Man machine, and like being used to the arrow keys there and stuff like that, and on the computer as well. And if you're not like really fast, you are going to die really horribly, really fastly. Because like there's the of course the four ghosts that are going to come and eat you if you don't watch out. I do remember like my favorite ghost was actually the blue one coming to get you. And when you got the bigger pellets, you can have the ability to actually eat the ghosts and get more points. So that's all awesome. And in the middle of the maze, there sometimes comes more bonus points in form of cherries and other fruits that you can take. So that was also fun. And like the gameplay with eating the small pellets, going like waka, 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 and like going from one side of the screen to another, because like I don't feel like that was a thing that was really new for me in old days. Like going from one screen to another was something that was groundbreaking at that time. I know it's not anymore, because like we have seen a lot of videos, or we have seen a lot of games doing this in real life now. So yeah, I do believe like Pac-Man is one of the games that have formed my childhood. I have a lot of Pac-Man gameplay and stuff like that, but as I said, like I'm not that good to it anymore, and the only games I have tried is like the original Pac-Man. I have not tried the newer Pac-Man that there is with Mrs. and Mrs. Pac-Man, Mr. Pac-Man. I think it's called, like where they have a child and weird stuff like that. And there's also like a lot of fan content out there, and levels that are made on insane mode, or how to say that, really hard mode, where there's actually 8 ghosts instead of 4 and stuff like that. So if you want to, you can make your own choice in how hard you actually wanted the game to go. I'm also going to talk a lot about other old games here on the Magic Mirror, but Pac-Man is the one of the games that I really did enjoy playing when I was younger, and still sometimes play nowadays. And getting the sound of the Pac-Man game stuck in your head is really easy. I have talked about like earworms before in other games, but this is like something really special, because like this will be stuck in your brain for weeks. Like it's not even funny. Um, the Pac-Man sound is just like one of the things that I do really enjoy, and there's a lot of videos out there where they have remix the Pac-Man sound into something else. Actually, like the popcorn melody is also inspired by Pac-Man, and there's actually, I don't know if you know this, but Pac-Man was actually called Pacman in old days. Um, I didn't know about stuff like this before, so um, I did really enjoy playing with the Pac-Man, and I just really also enjoyed the scenes where he's dying. Like when you lose a point, you're almost like not feeling bad. Like, of course, you will feel a little sour because like you are being like not completing, but it just looks funny to me, like him going into himself and disappearing, um, and you just instantly like popping up again, and you having the three lives and going on. Oh yeah, that's also something that I had to talk a little bit about. Like in old days, like the thing was like you had three lives and then that was it. Then you had to like start all over again. And Pac-Man is a really good example of such a game because like you could come to like level, I don't know, in two digits and like die, and then you have to start all over again with level one, and it was just like so harsh on you, the old games. So yeah, I do believe like there's a lot of learning curve with the Pac-Man, but when you first like learn the labyrinth, or how to say that, the maze here, then you will be fine. I since I've been small, I always liked labyrinth and the gameplay of like when you find a labyrinth in old children's book, like drawing the line from one end to another. So like the Pac-Man games were just like one of the things that were actually really enjoyable for me because of the labyrinth or maze here. So yeah, I really did enjoy the gameplay of like going around in the labyrinth and finding the pellets and trying to avoid the small ghosts and all of the good things, and of course the sound of it. Also the sound when he's dying, or he like the ghosts are coming after you. The that's just something that's ingrained in your brain, or how to say that. So yeah, if you haven't tried Pac-Man, I will do recommend like trying to download it or play it free online. There's a lot of sites, as I said. I will probably put a couple of sites in the descriptions down below so you can go and play a little Pac-Man if you like to. Of course, I'm also going to put a Wikipedia page about Pac-Man down below so you can go and see, and maybe I will show a small gameplay through of the newer games, but this is definitely not something that I know anything about or have tried in my life. I know like one of my friends have tried the Mrs. and Mr. Pac-Man, or what it's called, and were telling me like it's a okay experience. It's just not like the old Pac-Man games. I do remember like there were a Pac-Man game that was almost like 3D. I tried when I was younger, but I'm not quite sure if that's out there no more or what happened to it. I know like the arcades are going to, like, they're sadly disappearing and like not there anymore. So yeah, I really did hope to have a place like the arcades where you could go and play a little bit of Pac-Man, but we will always have Pac-Man online, and I did really enjoy everything with Pac-Man that there is. Um, Tomorrow is also a little bit funny because like I'm going to talk about Bubble Bubble. That is one of my favorite games, but like this episode of the Magic Mirror is dedicated to Pac-Man, and I really did enjoy everything that were with Pac-Man and the small, being the small round cheese. No, I know he's not a cheese, but like that's just the thing that I was thinking about when I was younger. I remember being like, Oh, it's a cheese eating small pellets of other cheese, or how to say that. But that was actually all. Do remember that inspiration is right around the corner. Do remember to take care of yourself and loved ones. And that was actually all. Yeah, okay. Bye.